to this segment. So as it is, so when on this particular occasion, about a few days ago, he complained of this dizziness. Of course, a lot of people may have had that case of dizziness. Maybe it could be liver related. Some people say it's malaria, shortage of blood. Anything can cause you to be dizzy. But for someone at 65 years old, he returned and complained how serious the dizziness was. I said, don't take starch. He loves starch more than myself. Not that we all love it, but when you know that something is hazardous, or maybe something is knocking on your door as another person, you have to caution, must be cautious. But I tell you, a lot of us, we don't take caution. Never take caution until something very serious happens to us. We are all in it together. We are never cautious. We like to enjoy what we love until something very serious happens to us health-wise. That is the only voice that a lot of us listen to, including myself. Not only him, but all of us, including you watching me, listening to me. A good number of us don't bother. Those who are smoking, if you tell them smoking is dangerous, they don't care. They go ahead until they tell them your liver is about to pack up. And they show them maybe inside inside the instrument, that where they can see the condition of their liver and a healthy liver. Maybe they are told you have just 6 months to live or 1 year. Then that is the voice that most people listen to. Then they start looking for how to solve it. But I tell you, my dear, it is always best to prevent. And so this is just a digression, but I think it's a useful one. So when he presented that day he ought to have been here, but he's not around. That is it. Because everybody has his own schedule of work or what. So unavoidably he's not here. It was not deliberate anyway. So I said, need to stop starch immediately. And on that very day, I can't remember the date now, I started giving him mostly something that's not related to starch. But his eyes and my eyes too was on the BP. But then a second thought in the morning, as he woke up and still complained of the dizziness, that though he's abating small, but it's still there. It's okay. Just let's check the sugar first. So I brought out my sugar. Look at it. I need to show us. This is my Aku check. I have 2 of it. I'm not going to test it, but I'm going to tell you the result. And you got to believe me. The result, I remember what we got. So I checked with this machine. I checked it in the morning, right here. And the result was just alarming. He was even shocked, because we checked mine to be sure that this thing is working. Because he's someone that sometimes he doubts. Yeah, he never had his blood sugar high. It's all about our eyes are always on the blood pressure. And I want to advise you also, as you are listening, don't just have your mind on one particular thing. If you're over 60, because anything can happen. Anyone can rise. So checking the blood sugar, guess what we got? The normal range, fasting blood sugar, the normal range ought to be 110, sometimes 115. The time my blood sugar rose to 138, I was worried. That was a few years back. But this time what we got was surprising to me, 158 fasting. was against 110. He was also amazed. I said, okay, let's check mine to be sure that this very ACU check is working, because sometimes it's okay, maybe this thing is not working again. No, mine was, I think, 96 or 98, thereabout. I mean, my own result showing that the thing is working. We took the blood, put it, and it showed. So it was actually, it may have actually caused the dizziness, but that was not, I didn't end it there. We still had our eyes on the blood pressure, and then we decided to check the blood pressure. I want you to follow me diligently, because this is more or less like a story and a testimony, and it's always good sometimes to share things like this. It's not fiction, it's something that practically was done. We did it here. So I was surprised. I said, okay, we're going to work on the blood sugar, but before then, let's also check the blood pressure. And so we checked it. This is the blood pressure machine. So you won't say it's all a story. I'm going to show you the machine for the blood pressure. Look, this is it. This is it. So this is it. So it's always good to have these things at home. If you are 60, look at it. So checking the blood pressure for someone that's in the morning, and the blood pressure being 159 in the morning is high. It's high. I think 120 is okay. 125 is okay. So if it was given 159 in the morning when you hadn't eaten, it may have also contributed to the dizziness. What it means is that in the evening when you eat something, it may actually get up to 175 or 180, because it's expected to be lower in the morning. At least 120, 115 is okay. Like if I check my own blood pressure, usually it used to be like 115. I think I got 115 that day. 115, 120. So his own was 159. So we move. That's okay. Now that two of them are quite high, what steps are we going to take? So you follow diligently. That's okay. We're not going to, most times when the sugar is high like that, I always advise, if you check my channel, I always advise people to embrace more of the raw foods, the uncooked foods. We know that guava leaves is one of the very potent herbs for lowering blood sugar. But in this particular case, I said we are not going to boil it. We are not going to boil the guava leaf. I'm going to give it to you raw. So cut me 3 fresh guava leaves like this. Look at it. Tender ones. 1, 2, 3. And we washed it in a running water. I said, you take it. You take it. And then I'm going to also give you something. But first of all, you need to go for a walk. A little walk in the morning. That's exactly the steps. After water therapy, you need to go for a walk. Just go for a mild walk. And then it was after the walk, we came back and I said, take these seeds. I already posted it in the community. These are the tamarind seeds. Don't neglect seeds. I already dry, fried some of them. I said, okay, after the chewing the seed, the guava leaves, you are going to be chewing this seeds. Chew just 3 of it. I gave it to him. It lowers blood sugar too. You know why these things are taken? These choices were made. Now there are so many herbs that can help you lower blood sugar. Even green tea can do it. Various herbs, even what do they call? Cloves can do it. Ginger can. A lot of herbs. What do they call that one? What do they call that other one? There's one other herb, very bitter too. They can lower blood sugar. Bitter leaf. Some say they wash bitter leaf and ephiri. That's the leaf we call ephiri here. Some of you know it. They combine it and drink to lower sugar. Several things that people are doing to lower sugar. If you have blood sugar issue, my dear, if you already established that yours is blood sugar, you don't need to worry anymore. There are 1,001 remedies, but you don't have to allow it to go unchecked, or you have to wait for a particular symptom to present, like in this case. I mean, almost complication, because when the two of them are high. I had an advice too. I said, if it doesn't come down, we better seek medical attention. That's what I said. I said, if by evening or tomorrow morning the thing continues and it's not coming down, honestly, the next thing is to seek medical attention. That is my humble opinion, and is what I will advise people, and it's what I would do. So, but as God will have it, after chewing the 3 guava leaves, tender guava raw, wash in the running water. And then this was already fried. I kept somewhere, which I normally chew after eating. I hope you're listening. Whenever I eat, you know, we are used to eating until we are full. That's the way we are raised. So if you eat and you are not full, honestly, you won't be okay. Some people can't even sleep unless they have eaten to full. We are all in it. If you have the appetite, the food is available. What else are you waiting for? That to just go ahead and enjoy yourself. Enjoy. But the problem with older adults is that after eating and enjoying, blood sugar starts rising, and blood pressure starts rising. Or those who are having arthritis, it starts paining or starts hurting. So various things like that start shooting up, because digestion is a huge task. And so when the body wants to do it, start the work, a lot of other things starts to show, inflammations, pains. So there are various ways. Those older, you know, in the olden days, we see all the older adults chewing all those small peppers, alligator pepper. They're always chewing something after meal. Now I know why they are doing it. They are not doing it scientifically, but they know how it helps them. And I want to encourage you, if you're in your 60s, over 60, one of the ways, one of the secrets that I'm learning lately in this age is finding something that lowers sugar naturally, gently, controls weight gain naturally, gently, especially after meal. Just start doing. This is one of my secrets I'm showing you now. And it wasn't long I started this, so it's just put it about 8-9 months ago that I tested it and saw it working, like tackling things like constipation. So immediately after chewing it, the bowel seems to move. It helps to increase the healthy gut bacteria. It helps to, aid digestion. I'm talking of this. It helps, and seeds like this, if I tell you, it will also be supporting good cholesterol and decreasing bad cholesterol. It will not be out of place because they don't have calorie, they don't have fat, they don't have oil, but they have fiber. I mean, good fiber. This type of fiber looks like the one you find in flax seeds. I'm not saying that the same, but you can see it. You can check the community. I posted a photo of it there. If you really want to look at it very well, because I'm not seeing you because of the camera, the front camera. So, but we have to do this scheduled live. I don't like posting. I don't like posting and posting something. So this is it. So I gave it to him to chew. Though initially he was reluctant, because we normally neglect small things. We normally neglect something like seeds. We look at it with disdain. We look at them rather with disdain that, what can this one do? That was exactly the expression when I said, start chewing this also. But, well, if your health is at risk, anything they ask you to do, you will do it. That is it. Because we all want to stay alive. That is the truth. Whether the life is sweet or not, we all want to be here on this side. And so he reluctantly took it. I said, put it, just be chewing it like a candy, not the tray at once. Just put it in your mouth. I already dry fried it. And that dry frying seemed to make it look even lighter and more potent, because I have tried to chew the raw one. It didn't really go well. It's very hard seed though. But by the time you persistently chew it, it dissolves and becomes like a little bit like chewing gum. But you will feel the impact. You'll be feeling it inside of your body. You will feel it working, because it will be, helping your food to digest, to reduce weight on you. And I have no doubt that it is going to also have, such seeds will have positive effect on the blood pressure too. So, took it and began to chew. All this happened within 3 hours, to be very, very precise, because I said it will be nice to check your blood sugar. If it has risen to 158 and your BP 159, you need to do something to ensure that you bring it down. Because if it remains on that 158, 159, and you go eat something, whether the food is oily or whether it's not oily, whatever you eat as food, maybe because you're hungry, my dear, it may end up in a very, may put you in a more serious situation. That is what I have come to know about our body, because you will be seen to be putting weight on that body, and that body does not want weight anymore, because the blood sugar and the blood pressure, these are already weights on it. They are already weights. And so he took it and began to chew it one after the other, gently. And then at about 12:30 Nigerian time, it was time to make breakfast, to have breakfast, because that's always the time, but it's not the specific time. I am not in that school of thought that say you must eat breakfast 8:30 or 10. It depends on when you woke up. I said it, and I want to echo it here, and how your body is each day. No 2 days are the same. So don't say you must eat so time. If you, after 3 hours you woke up and you've been active, you're hungry, eat. So because of this, I said you have to wait. We have to wait and check this thing and make sure that what we have put in place is working, so that it doesn't get out of control, needing hospitalization. And I am happy to report, my people, it's my pleasure to inform you that at about 3 hours I didn't check specific time, but I know that everything happened between that 8:39 to that 12, after 12 or thereabout, about 12, either to 12 after 5. Within those periods, everything happened. So I placed it about 3 hours. I didn't check specific time. I have to be very honest with you. And so I said, okay, let me check these things again before you have your breakfast. We checked it. 108. That same sugar with this same thing that read 158. The result showed 108. I want you to follow. That is not even the interesting part of this story. I want you to follow diligently, please. And you need to just stay close, because there is an interesting part which I want you to really get. The interesting part is not this one. We checked it. It was 108. I was amazed at the result. Even himself declared it that he's even feeling a little bit better. He's feeling better. The only thing we had taken that morning was this, water therapy. Took this thing, this 3 fresh raw guava leaf, went for walk, and they started chewing this. Already fried, though, told you, don't forget that. Already dry fried it and kept it somewhere, you can see. Then, these are the only 2 things. And the thing had already come down. And guess what the blood pressure was reading? 138. Whereas the sugar was 108, the BP was 138. I don't think the BP was doing badly too. It wasn't doing badly at all. And so it's okay. I think with this, one can go for breakfast. Yes, no medication, nothing. He took it. And then we are getting, I want you to listen attentively to this interesting part now. And so the next morning, I made some oats, add some, all those stuff. I had to personally manage the diet myself to ensure that we maintain the result, because we sustain it rather. Because when you achieve a result, it's not enough. Sustaining it is very important, so that you don't get it 108 today, tomorrow you get, due to what you ate, it rises to 170 or 160. No. So I decided to do all of that. Maybe we'll talk about, if some of you may want to comment or ask, say, what did you eat in the morning? What did you eat in the afternoon? If you're interested in all of that, you can also drop your comments. And even if you want him to still come and say it himself, we can book for another occasion. That will be another day. But right now, it's not even around. And so I decided to do all of that. And so the next morning, that's the interesting part now. Just pay attention. So the next morning, he got himself some herbs. Soursop, some soursop leaves. I don't know the quantity. Some guava leaves. No, some soursop leaves. Some guava leaves. And then hibiscus flower tea, which we call zobo. And prepared it himself. And before I knew what was happening, he already had all of the water therapy, all of the water therapy, and took those ones himself. I said, you mean you already had this? He said, yes. It's okay. But let's still check it. My dear, it was so very shocking. Even himself, it was very shocking. You know the result? The result rose again, especially that of the BP. It was at that point. Oh my God. In fact, the BP rose, particularly the BP. And I think the sugar was about 130 something. But that first day, I can remember precisely exactly. But this one, the BP was the one that shocked us. Because we had successfully used these soursop leaves for the BP in the past. That's another, from another point, another place. So the big question is, are there some species? That's what I'm asking. And up to now, I'm still trusting to find an answer to that, because I wouldn't understand, himself wouldn't understand why he combined the so-called potent herbs together. Cook them. Mark the word cooking. Because I'm always mindful of cooking, using those cooking stuff when the situation is bad. Why? Because our bodies seem to quickly work with things that are in their raw state. Because after applying heat, the heat tend to have reduced, affected their potency and the way our body seem to, respond and understand them in the body. So that is actually the point that was just mind-blowing, and it's something up to this very moment I'm still pondering over why it happened. Although days after that, it was still able to be controlled, but with the exception of this particular combo he did. So one lesson also I learned, and I want you to learn from it, is using that thing once like that, something once, may not be 100% enough, especially when you combine herbs too many. You don't know which one is working. No, I'm not a fan of all those combining of herbs. I want to know the effect of each one of them. A lot of people like combining by the joy. I don't like it. You're entitled to your own view on it. But combining herb, some people go to market, even educated people, enlightened people, they go and say, join this one, give me this herb. Illiterate, uneducated people will gather herbs all over, wrap it, and give them to go boil and drink. They don't even know which one of these herbs is giving them results. That's why I don't like it. It's my own personal view of it. That is where I look at it. I don't like modeling everything up. So you will know which one is delivering the result, which one to focus on. They just say mix herbs for me. I've heard people say it. And if you are in that habit, I want to suggest, I'm not, forcing you, but I want to suggest that you should desist from it. Always know what each one is doing. Don't just ask people to mix herb to you for you together. Go so that you go and boil it and drink to cure typhoid, to cure malaria, to cure this, to cure that. Not at all. You can mix them yourself if you want to, knowing what they do. And if it gives you a good result, you can also keep that recipe. That's what I do. That is not to say that you should not combine herbs. I'm not saying that. Sometimes you need the synergy of one or two herbs together to get you results quicker and faster. But don't just, believe that you can just mix anything. Not at all. I have had occasion, for instance, in the past, to mix lemongrass. Not much, because I fear herbs. Are you hearing me? I fear herbs. because they are very powerful. When I want to take, I always take little. Instead of it to be overdosed, let it be under. Under is not good, but I prefer it because overdose sometimes you won't know what to do. So I have had occasion to mix lemongrass with hibiscus tea, zobo, then a little of guava leaf, just a few, and it gave me very good result. When sometimes when I was feeling under the weather, like constipation, feeling like symptoms of like malaria or just some form of sluggishness. And so when I got that result, I put that recipe in my brain that this combo is good. Some combos are good, some combos are not good. Now, what happened in that particular one? Could it be that the species of the hibiscus, of the soursop was different? Because all these plants, they are different in their families. Yes, each one is different. If you come to okra now, you see short okra, you see long okra, you see fat okra, you see very long okra, you see some that looks like agric. If you come to every vegetable, every fruit, if you come to the citrus, you see the lemon, you will see the lime, you will see the tangerine, you see the grape, you see the orange. Every species. And as you can agree with me, these things are not, they don't deliver the same results. They are all unique, and Mother Nature knew why, or rather knows why he put them differently. Even if you come to the avocados family, for instance, we have butter, the one they call butter, very sweet, some are too oil, are more oil, having more oils than others. And so I am also thinking that sometimes we may have to know the exact species. And if you capture that species, it's better to keep it. Because you may go get another one, it may not give you that same result. It may not give you. You may even have something like soursop tree in your compound. But after using it, it may work and deliver results for you. Like we have used it, soursop leaves effectively to lower BP. But why is it that this particular one gotten from somewhere else, not from around here, somewhere fresh, combined even with guava and everything, maybe with the hope, I believe he did it with the hope that he wants to quench everything once. I'll also tell you something, and I want you to pay attention. He may have done it with the hope that let the guava clear the sugar, let the soursop, let the zobo, everything, let them just quench everything. That's what some of you are doing, so that you return to your lifestyle, eating your carbohydrates, very strong and resistant starches. But that is not so. When you are trying to manage any disease, whether it's blood sugar, whether it's blood pressure, whether it's, you must combine. What I'm saying is, in addition to these therapies, these remedies, these herbal remedies, and the rest of it, you must join it with proper nutrition. Nothing can take the place of proper nutrition. Proper nutrition is as important as the herbs. But a lot of people don't pay attention. They just give them the herb, let them take it. That's all. Then you start eating your life, eat and go to bed, all the ugly habits that you have been engaging in. You just go ahead with them without bothering how it will impact on your health. If you weren't exercising before, you don't exercise. If you weren't doing water therapy, you don't bother anymore. Why? Because you think you have, and that's why some of you who are taking over-the-counter medications, you are so relaxed because you think the medication is doing the job. And that again, some people will now come up and say they have been taking it for a long time, for so years. It doesn't seem to be doing what it was doing before. Reason, obviously, if you ask me, may be that the medication that you are taking, you have, been taking it for too long, not too long, your body has become too used and adapted to it, and over time it doesn't seem that you are even getting the result. That is what happens. Number two reason is that you are even taking the medication, then you are not even following your nutrition and diet to get proper nutrition, to eat right, changing your lifestyle. So you may now say the medication is not working. It's working. It's you that you are not, bringing in other things which drugs and medications will not do for you. And so we were able to effectively bring it down using proper nutrition, both the BP, both the blood sugar, everything. The dizziness also, I'm happy to report. At least I got the report this morning. Going about his normal schedule and, daily activities. And it has stopped. When I say stop, he said it has stopped. And so, and then it didn't just stop that very day. It's something that took time, gradually, before it was finally abated. So, if you are in that situation, my dear, you may not have to expect that it will stop suddenly. Yes. Drop your comments, please. You know that in this particular life, it's a special one. I'm not seeing you, though you may be seeing me. So I'll be responding to all the comments, and I want you to be dropping your comments. That's why I cannot even welcome anybody or see those, because I was actually thinking that was part of why I delayed to come live. That after updating my phone, the front camera, what I don't know, the dullness and everything could be resolved. But lo and behold, we still went ahead and did the live, because where there is a will, there is a way. If you are determined to do something, nothing, and I repeat, nothing can stop you. Excuse is just what you say when you don't want to do something. You'll be looking for excuse. So because this life is already scheduled, and I was determined to have it, though quite a busy day, some other things came up, including the network issues, which I don't know which, but be that as it may, we have heard it, how it happened. Kindly drop your comment so that I'll be responding to them in my next event.